What's going on, everybody? Today at First Build, we're making a ladder Damascus Kukri. This is a piece of 150 layers Damascus steel. I'm gonna cut my ladder pattern in. We're gonna forge it out. This thing's gonna be wicked.
So I have some Damascus left over from a previous build. It's 150 layers of steel. So to get this ladder pattern in, I'm gonna make alternating cuts. That way the two don't meet up and I don't just cut all the way through. After I've got my cuts or ladders set into this billet, I'm gonna take it over to the power hammer and I'm gonna forge this thing back down to flat. Alright, so now I got my 150 layers. The ladder pattern is set in from the power hammer. I'm gonna take it over and I'm gonna hammer this thing out by hand. So right now I'm hammering this Kukri out. I want to get it as close to shape as I can. I don't want to have to do a ton of grinding when I get done. So I'm really going to focus on getting this thing close in the forge. Alright, so this Kukri is all forged out. Now I'm going to move over to the grinder. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit on the grinder, true it up, and I'm going to get this thing ready for the heat treat. So now this Kukri is ready for the quench. I'm going to get it up to temperature, and I'm going to go into the oil. So after the Kukri comes out the quench, I only have a few precious seconds to get it over to this straightening jig, and I'm going to clamp it in the vise, and hopefully it's going to set up nice and straight as it cools down. This Kukri is straight, it's true, ready to go in for the temper. So for tempering this Kukri, I'm going to put it in an oven about 450 degrees for a little under 2 hours, and that's going to help pull some of the brittleness back out of the steel. Everything looks good, everything feels good. Now it's just time to grind. My least favorite part, just grinding, getting this thing all trued up, getting the tang where I want it to be. Now that the blade's ground, I'm gonna sand it down, get it to a nice even finish on the sander, and I'm ready to see what this pattern looks like. So a couple of these ladder rungs that I cut in just got cut a little too deep. And I'm going to do my best to try to get this steel planed down even. I don't know, I'm kind of worried I'm not going to be able to get it as smooth as I want it to be without making this knife incredibly thin. Alright, so I was able to kind of feather out all of the grind marks except for one, and that one I got it feathered out pretty well. It's not perfect, but I am pleased with it. Alright, so I'm going to fill up this tub with some ferric chloride acid. I'm going to lay this knife in there, and I'm ready to see this ladder pattern pop. So the steel of this knife is ready. Now I just got to attach the wooden handle. I'm using some bloodwood. So I want to drill these holes into the tang, get those set up for the pins. Now all I have to do is take my wood blocks, drill the holes, pin and glue this handle together and let it dry. Alright, the handle's all dried up, so all I have to do now is sand it down. It's messy, it's funky, it's gross, but it's all coming together. And one of the final things I'm doing here is taking a little bit of Dutch oil, rubbing it on the wood, really making that red pop, sealing it up, keeping everything protected. And we're just about done. So that's it. There it is. 150 layers, ladder pattern Damascus Kukri. It turned out great. We got a lanyard hole in the back. We got bloodwood on the handle. File work in the tang. As for this piece, I feel happy about it, and it's ready to go off to its new home.